This is Melky, and I am now reading the Microsoft Service Agreement. This is a continuation from my previous videos for the same purposes. So I have read the privacy section in the previous video, and let's move on to the next one, which is your content. Your content. Many of our services allow you to store or share your content or receive materials from others. We don't claim ownership of your content. Your content remains your content and you are responsible for it. A. When you share your content with other people, you understand that they may be able to, on a worldwide basis, use, save, record, reproduce, broadcast, transmit, share, and display your content for the purpose that you made your content available on the services without compensating you. If you do not want others to have that ability, do not use the services to share your content. You represent and warrant that for the duration of these terms, you have and will have all the rights necessary for your content that is uploaded, stored, or shared on or through the services, and that the collection, use, and retention of your content will not violate any law or rights of others. Microsoft cannot be held responsible for your content or the material others upload, store, or share using the services. B. To the extent necessary to provide the services to you and others, to protect you and the services. Excuse me, wait a minute. I want to see. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Just a little bit of setback. A little bit. Microsoft cannot be held responsible for your content or the material others upload, store, or share using the services. Others. What? Why is that related to me? Microsoft. Oh, but why is it? What are the cases when? Oh, it relates to because I am the one who could be damaged by others' materials, and I might be suing or I might held Microsoft responsible. I see. To the extent necessary to provide the service to you and others, to protect you and the services, and to improve Microsoft products and services, you grant to Microsoft a worldwide and royalty-free intellectual property license to use your content. For example, to make copies of, retain, transmit, reformat, display, and distribute via communication tools your content on the services. If you publish your content in areas of the service where it is available broadly online without restrictions, your content may not disappear, your content may appear in demonstrations or materials that promote the service. Some of the services are supported by advertising. Controls for how Microsoft personalizes advertising are available at https://choice.live.com, https://gomicrosoft.com/link. I'm reading the link. I'm sorry. Next, we do not use what you say in email, chat, video calls, or voicemail, or your documents, photos, or other personal files to target advertising to you. Our advertising policies are covered in detail in the privacy statement. So we've read the privacy statement. A little bit of a conclusion here. To the extent necessary, Microsoft. Wait a minute, guys. Excuse me. And this is a little bit similar from before. I kinda wanted to extract something that is different, right? So because you see, it has a similar pattern. We post our content to Microsoft, and Microsoft is not responsible for our content. But in the B part, it focuses on a legal activity. So we actively uses our legal right to grant Microsoft a license on our content, copyright license, intellectual property license to use our content, and also Microsoft use it for advertising purposes. And then what you want to know is how long would Microsoft retain this this license? How long would this license apply? Is there an expiration date for this license? Obviously, when you took down your content, obviously the content that is licensed is the content that is made available for public. um, Yes, and they say it themselves that they don't use what we say in email, chat, video calls, or voicemails, obviously, or your documents, photos, or other personal files to target advertising to you. Oh wait, not this include in the licensing, but to target advertising. So, is this mean that all of those documents is licensed to Microsoft? Wait, impossible. If you publish your content in areas where available broadly online without restriction, your content may appear in demonstration or materials that promote the service. Some of the services are supported by advertising. Controls for how Microsoft personalizes advertising are available at choice.live.com. To target advertising, no, our advertising policies are covered in detail in the privacy statement. Okay, so that is not really the whole concern here. Advertising is only partial. The concern is whether or not all of this stuff is licensed to Microsoft now, and how long. What kind of license would that be? Whoa, wait a minute. This is quite insignificant, and this is quite it could be intrusive. You grant to Microsoft a worldwide and royalty-free intellectual property license to use your content, for example, to make copies, retain, transmit, reformat, display, and distribute via communication tools your content on the surfaces. If you publish your content in areas of the surface where it is available broadly online, without restrictions, your content may appear. Okay, so what constitutes your content here? And they even say that what we say in email, chat, video calls, and voicemails is not going to be used for advertising. So all of these stuffs are included as your content, and that means all of this stuff is licensed to Microsoft. Wait, whoa, you know what? I don't know, guys. I don't know this again. Okay, again, disclaimer, guys, this is not a professional advice. I am prone to make mistakes. Please be careful and have a grain of salt. And if you use it for high stakes decision, please consult your professional advisor. Again, I am not giving like some kind of professional assurance in this matter. I could really make mistakes. I exercise no professional discipline in doing this, guys. So just be careful. If you are about to get into some kind of high stakes situation and you are reminded to the contents of this video, again, I cannot be responsible. I don't want to be responsible for that. I am not giving you that assurance. I'm not giving you that. Just be careful and exercise the proper cost of the reality. Okay, next, guys, this is a little bit of problematic to me in my opinion, but I haven't finished the service agreement. Probably there are more revelations coming up. 3. Code of conduct. By agreeing to these terms, you are agreeing that when using the services, you will follow these rules. 1. Don't do anything illegal. 2. Don't engage in any activity that exploits, harms, or threatens to harm children. 3. Don't send spam or engage in phishing. Spam is unwanted or unsolicited bulk email, postings, contact requests, SMS, instant messages, or similar electronic communications. Phishing is sending emails or other electronic communications to fraudulently or unlawfully induce recipients to reveal personal or sensitive information such as passwords, dates of birth, social security numbers, passport numbers, credit card information, financial information, or other sensitive information, or to gain access to accounts or records, exfiltration, of documents or other sensitive information, payment and or financial benefit. Yeah, so don't use Microsoft services to do that. So basically, you cannot do that. You cannot do that with your computer because this you're using Windows, right? Yeah, so they really like so the one, not only you would be violating the law in your area that applies to your jurisdiction, to the jurisdiction where you are at, but also you would be violating these terms and conditions as well, like 99% of the time, in my opinion. Again, not a professional opinion. Next, for don't publicly display or use the services to share inappropriate content or material involving, for example, nudity, bestiality, for pornography, offensive language. Wait, offensive language. What? Graphic violence or criminal activity? This is weird. Now, offensive language is probably we got covered by the freedom of speech section, so we gotta, obviously that would take precedent. This again, not a professional advice, but personally i would I would refer to that. I would, you know uh I would take cover in that. But this is a little bit ooh, uh social justice warrior stuff here. And criminal activity. Next, 5, don't engage in activity that is fraudulent, false, or misleading, asking for money under false pretenses, impersonating someone else, manipulating the services to increase play count or affect rankings, ratings, or comments. That's a little bit broad as well. Okay, don't circumvent any restriction on access to or availability of the services. 7, don't engage in activity that is harmful to you, the services, or others. For example, transmitting viruses, stalking, posting terrorist or violent extremist content, communicating hate speech, or advocating violence against others. 8, don't infringe upon the rights of others. For example, unauthorized sharing of copyrighted music or other copyrighted material, resale of other distribution of Bing maps or photographs. Okay, so interesting stuff, isn't it? So if you share Bing maps or photographs, you there's copyright issue there, like intellectual property issue, that we might violate rights of others. Probably this is the case when you share it like publicly or for commercial purposes, right? If you share in the social media and you are like an influencer or something, it could be a gray area where for other people, usual people, it would be for personal uses most of the time, right? The social media is rather weird, right? Where it is a social media, so it is like a place to hang out and being private against people that we know. But sometimes, where's the line when it becomes a public venue? uh, I don't know. And then after that, what we do in the public venue would have some kind of different laws that applies as well, including especially intellectual property law. So that is a different field that we must kind of be able to sense where our positions at. Next, don't engage in activity that violates the privacy of others. Okay, and don't help others break these rules. The rules is a little bit broad, right? It's really like, I don't like the way it could be used for a lot of different stuff that is a culture, that is already a culture, that is already a common intuitive stuff that we do, that probably is not really a crime, that is not really damaging and stuff, but it could be some kind of Karen stuff to bring up. You know what I mean? It's a Karen. Uh, it's a it's what do you call it? What do they always call it? Enabler. It's a Karen enabler rules. Okay, again, guys, this is not comprehensive. Again, I do think there are more things in here than meets my eye. I cannot like let's go. So do you get my point? I am um, there are nuances, and those nuances could be very important for your case, and if and I'm ignoring that, that means you would be doing like some, if you use it for certain things in your life, it could be a dangerous issue. So please be careful, please. Next, enforcement. If you violate these terms, we may stop providing services to you, or we may close your Microsoft account. We may also block delivery of a communication like email, file sharing, or instant message to or from the services in an effort to enforce these terms, or we may remove or refuse to publish your content for any reason. When investigating alleged violations of these terms, Microsoft reserves the right to review your content in order to resolve the issue. However, we cannot monitor the entire services and make no attempt to do so. So that is how they enforce this. Wait a minute, I this is kind of sus. Let's look deeper here. We may close your Microsoft account. We may also block delivery of a communication like email, file sharing, or instant message. And we may remove or refuse to publish your content. Review your content in order to resolve the issue. However, we cannot monitor the entire services and make no attempt to do so. The last part is a little bit um, it's an issue of itself, but I don't want to get into that. And next, the in the beginning, there are also stuff that is important, like for example, uh, again, Karen stuff, right? If you got some kind of person who is hungry for power, I don't know, their parents never actually play with them or something like that, they probably have a fetish of being able to do something significant to your life and stuff. So they would probably do something like blocking you, because it's so broad, right? Deeming you violating this stuff. So like as a Microsoft, you want to be really professional about this, and having like some kind of, what's the English terms that are so usable for different ways, for good and for bad. uh, as a Microsoft, it's kind of, and plus, if I have alternatives like open source alternatives, that would be great. However, though, a lot of people are not using open source like Linux and stuff. This is so unfortunate. I just wish those guys could be as strong as Microsoft, but they're still so far away. And it is unfortunate, guys. If there's something bad happening, or there's a different kind of leadership or system happening in Microsoft, which is not the original guys, not always the great guys that is providing all of these solutions for us. It could be someone else. It could be transferred into some kind of crazy people, for example, that's that's happening right now. And you need to be able we need to be able to have some kind of coverage in here. Next, C, application to Xbox services. Click here. And for more information about how this code of conduct applies to all Xbox services, including Xbox Game Pass, games for Windows Live, and Xbox Game Studio games, applications, services, and content provided by Microsoft, violation of the code of conduct through Xbox services defined in Section 14AI may result in suspensions or bans from participation in Xbox services, including forfeiture of content licenses, Xbox Gold membership time, and Microsoft account balances associated with the account. Next, Microsoft Start Community Guidelines. The Microsoft Start Community Guidelines. Okay, the community guidelines is another thing that is a must read. Govern registered user engagement with news and professionally generated content on that service. Violation of the code of conduct through the Microsoft Start community guidelines may result in suspensions or bans from community commenting or termination of Microsoft accounts. But this is for MSN News stuff, right? A lot of people uses MSN News as well, and but some people just read them and not active in the community. So if you're active in the community, these community guidelines would be important for you. I'm going to move on to the next section, but probably in another video. It's already 20 minutes. You guys have been so nice in wanting to accompany me in reading this stuff. Some of this stuff is going to take a while to digest, so I appreciate you guys still here with me. And if you guys have some more to add, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let's together improve the quality of our property here by actually making nexuses or connections with the text, with the legal text itself. And probably we've got some kind of ideas about how to improve our lives and our relationships from there. Definitely, like Joe Rogan said, it's entirely possible. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you again next time if you want. Goodbye.